Hello my friends, my name is Artur and I am an Estonian YouTuber. As mentioned video before my silver play button video, I am interested in the Mexican-American War. Those two nations nowadays are quite different, but back then America did not own the territories it owns now. It was all part of Mexico, now it's part of USA. How did it happen? We'll find out in today's video. But I have some news for you. We have some changes to the Estonian Youtuber Cup competition. I've gotten some letters from Europeans. Yes, Europeans. I've heard of them across the pond. They want to be part of the competition. So I thought about it a lot and I figured, yes, alright. Now every country can be a part of the competition, but European countries have to keep up with the States. Not an easy task. So from now on, if you're from England, France, Germany, whatever country you're from, if you order a cup, your country goes up the Hall of Fame next to the US states. I'm not gonna count US as a country, but I'm gonna count the states. Second news is that every week from now on, I'm going to show you the cup pick of the week. You send me pictures with the cups, and I will pick the best one and feature it on my channel, and it's called the cup pick of the week, and you will write your name in history with it. So send me your cup pictures, I will feature the best one. Today, the cup pick of the week. Are you ready for this? Kashi Dragon, look at this dude. He has the cup, he has the looks, he has the weapon. It's a Kalashnikov, I mean, but still really cool. Pictures like this, or in that matter, all kind of pictures with the cups, I'm waiting for, and the best ones I will show you. This is a really cool one, I think you agree with me. So yeah, this one wins this week's competition. Next week, there will be a new pick. Get the cups, keep the picks coming. Let's jump into the video.
It wasn't that long ago that the United States went to war with its neighboring country, Mexico. Wars in American history have not been popular among the American public, and the Mexican-American War was no exception. Years before war broke out between the two countries, Mexico had fought its own war of independence against the Spaniards. It was in 1812 that Mexico freed itself from its colonizers. At the time, the new country spanned from current-day northern Oregon to the modern-day country of Guatemala.
Look how big Mexico was. That's a huge damn country. That's a damn empire. I think Mexico was bigger back then than USA is nowadays. Mexico was bigger, right? Because this is huge. US owns half of this territory now.
Its northern territory was sparsely populated, and because of this, the government supported plans to welcome settlers from the United States in the hopes of furthering developing the region. It was through this program that the majority of the population in Texas became American. By the time of the Texas Revolution, nearly 10,000 of the 14,000 people living in Texas were American settlers. The only condition that the Mexican government placed on its...
Again, these numbers, I commented in the last video, but that they are so small. 14,000 living in Texas, right? 4,000 of which, 10,000 of which are Americans. But they counted the population as white men, right? Not even women, but just white men, if I'm correct. So it was 14,000 white, free, independent men, and the rest of them were slaves and natives. So in the end, you have the population still like 100,000 at least, I think, but they didn't count them because they were inferior to white men. Horrible, I know.
This foreign population in Texas, or that they pledge loyalty to Mexico, convert to Catholicism, and live on the land they purchased for at least 10 years. Mexico also didn't allow slavery in its country. This proved hard for the American settlers to follow because they were mostly Protestant, loyal to the United States, and pro-slavery.
It's funny of a problem. It's so hard for me to follow this non-slavery thing. I miss my slaves. Damn, if I only had some slaves. Sounds really bad nowadays, but yeah, it was for them hard to follow, guys. They were used to that lifestyle. I understand. I don't understand, but I understand. It's a complicated situation. I do condemn though. Don't like that slavery stuff, no.
It wasn't long before Texas erupted in rebellion and fought a revolution of its own against the Mexican government.
Yeah, we watched a video about
After
this.
Texas won its independence from Mexico, it tried to become part of the United States 2 times. However, the U.S. Congress rejected its application because many congressmen didn't want to antagonize the Mexican government. Additionally, some congressmen from the free northeastern states did not want to add another slave state to the country. In 1844, President James...
Imagine how big of a problem this might be that a new huge area wants to join your country. Nowadays everybody wants area. Everybody wants land, right? So if a huge area of land wants to join you freely, and you push it back, you say no just because it would join the opposition of your government. For example, they would be a slave state and you're a free state politician, abolitionist, and you just refuse the land because they would be your opponents. And they would be part of the United States, but they would be the opposition in the government, so that's why you refuse it. For me, it sounds a bit weird nowadays. All countries want land so bad, so it doesn't seem like a reason to say no.
James K. Polk was elected president and was an avid supporter of Manifest Destiny, or the belief that God has meant for the United States to conquer the land from the Atlantic coast to the Pacific.
Okay, so this is the Manifest Destiny. I ranted about it a lot in the last video, comparing it to Third Reich. And I am amazed that people didn't get mad about this. People actually agreed with me. I'm glad. Yes, I see it that way. Manifest Destiny. God gave us the destiny. It's our will and right and duty to take all of the land from Mexico, basically. This is owned by Mexico, but they see the destiny to conquer it to the west coast. So they have to take it from Mexico. And this is done by God, by the way. God has willed us and dutied us and allowed us to do this. So we have to follow God's will. Deus vult, as they said in the 13th century.
Polk's eye was not just on Texas, but veered all the way to California. When Polk became president, Congress voted to annex Texas into the United States. It was in 1845 when the president sent troops on...
I pause a lot, sorry, but yes, another thing I commented on was to annex. The annex, I thought it means to just occupy and take it over, you know, a negative term to just take somebody's freedom. But actually you guys told me through the comments that annexation is just to add something to a group of something else. To add a territory to the United States whole landmass is to annex. So it's not a negative word. Nowadays, just media uses it as a negative term. They say Russia annexed Crimea, like a very negative way to say it, to say the occupy, right? But actually, in history, this word, yeah, now I know what it originally meant.
Under the command of General Zachary Taylor into an area between the Nueces River, which was the traditional southern border of the Mexican state of Texas, and the Rio Grande, which marks the current border between Texas and Mexico. At the same time, Polk sent John Slidell to Mexico to try and purchase California. However, both...
Oh, they tried to buy it! Yes, US is rich and was rich back then already compared to the neighboring countries. So first, they tried to buy it as they bought Louisiana, right? But if buying doesn't work out, there are other ways to get more land, my friend. Take your guns and let's liberate this Mexico. My friends, talking about liberation, now is the great time to talk about the liberation of these beautiful Estonian Youtuber Cups. Let's jump into the competition. Welcome back to the Estonian Youtuber Cup competition. Behind me we have a Hall of Fame, which from today will have states and countries. If you're from England, France, Germany, Australia, doesn't matter. Your country will be up on the Hall of Fame if you get the cup. I know a few orders from Europe, but the queue hasn't gotten to them yet. The queue is usually like 2 weeks until your order actually gets to the Hall of Fame, so you have to be patient. Ah, that's good tea. Let me pull out my markers, let me pull out my old school piece of paper. Eduardo DiLorenzo. Actually it's Edward DiLorenzo probably, but Eduardo DiLorenzo. Oh, magnifique. Rhode Island. We have Christopher Gangster from Florida. Hey, Mr. Gangster. It's Ganger actually, I'm sorry. It's Christopher Ganger, but I mean, I couldn't not use the opportunity to say Christopher Gangster. We got gangsters ordering cups now. You wanna be gangster? Get the cup. Florida gets the point. Many of you said that I again wrote Washington wrong. I'm sorry, I always write it wrong. Every time I've rewrote it on the board, I've written it wrong. I'll fix it now. Also, 2 Virginias I have on the board. Actually, we have no West Virginia. No one has ordered from West Virginia. We just have Virginia. This is the only true Virginia we have. If you're from West Virginia, get the cup. Jordan Ishibashi. Yeah, Jordan Ishibashi is from anime probably, or from Japan. It's just such a Japanese name. Ishibashi! Oh, I don't know what they do in Japan. I'm not a huge Japan fan. I know most of America is like, oh, anime is so good. I've never seen anime in my life. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Mr. Ishibashi. You put another point to Oregon. We have Aziza Kamuhanda. Kamuhanda here is from a native tribe. I'm quite sure he lives in the woods and prays to the lords of gods of the heaven and sacrifices. No, probably just a very cool name. Have some roots maybe with the natives, I don't know. But your name is really awesome and your point goes to Maryland. We have Mr. Kaine Neff. Kaine is, I think, small in Germany, but Neff is, I think, magnificent in French, so you're small magnificent. I'm actually not sure what these things mean. I know Kaine might be small, I'm not sure. But your point goes to Washington. What? Washington and North Dakota both have 11, but now Washington has 12, taking the lead yet again. Washington keeps surprising me. You guys from Washington really want your state to win, I see. And yes, there are no orders from DC, just Washington the state. We have Maestro Don Garcia. Mr. Maestro Don Garcia, your order goes to Italy. No, it's actually Connecticut. We don't have that state yet. Let's add it. Yes! Good job, Maestro Garcia. If you want to put your state or your country in the Hall of Fame, then get the cup and you will be remembered by history. Let's get back to the video. Don't miss out on the opportunity to represent your state or your country for that matter on the Hall of Fame. The states versus all the other countries. So if all of the other countries you're feeling from England perhaps that you want to put England on the Hall of Fame, you can do it now. Just get the cups. Use your Great Britain pounds and turn them into a beautiful drinking machine.
These acts angered the Mexican government, and because of this, Slidell was sent back to the US. Polk, who felt that the Mexican government mistreated Slidell, seized the opportunity, and when he was told that on May 9, 1846, Mexican soldiers had fired upon American soldiers between the Rio Grande and the Nueces River, Polk stated that, "We have tried every effort at reconciliation." The cup of forbearance had been exhausted even before the recent information from the frontier of the Del Norte. But now, Mexico has passed the boundary of the United States, has invaded our territory, and shed American blood upon the American soil.
Very hard words for something that probably didn't happen. I'm not here condemning the history and I'm not opposing US viewers, please don't get mad at me. It sounds a little bit like Russia trying to get Finland in the Winter War. Soviets bombarded the Finnish outposts. Then one day later they released a claim that the Finnish bombarded their outposts and then they tried to invade the entire country. Sounds a little bit like that. Maybe a fabricated conflict, maybe no conflict at all, but suddenly we are outraged. How dare you to do this to us on our soil, our blood, our people? And then war happens. You just need a little spark like that. It feels fabricated, I'm sorry.
With this, Polk declared war on Mexico. However, Mexicans thought of this act slightly differently. They believed it was an act of banditry, because of course, the shots that were fired upon American soldiers were, in Mexico's eyes, still in Mexico, south of the traditional state-Texas border, the Nueces River. In fact, a Mexican article, written just days after war was announced, in the paper El Tiempo, declared that the American government acted like a bandit who came upon a traveler. There were also several U.S.
Unfortunately, it seems like Mexico is right. Like, the situation seems like it. I don't know exactly. Maybe it was that US troops were invaded and killed on American soil. I don't know. Just how it seems to me.
U.S. congressman that declared the war an act unjustifiable. Senator Charles Sumner stated that, "Certainly, Mexico might justly charge our citizens with disgraceful robbery, while, in seeking extension of slavery, our own citizens denied the great truths of American freedom. It is certainly undeniable that the U.S. at the time had its eyes on expansion and acted questionably in order to reach its goal of conquering the land between the Atlantic and Pacific."
This is how it ended. So suddenly. No outro or anything. Very sudden ending. I wish to know more about the war. I just knew how it started. I want to know more. I didn't find any better videos. I mean, I searched and this was not the best video, but this was the only one I found. So I guess you have to make do with this. I'm sorry, I wanted to know more also. But this is what we have. Last video was about a silver play button. I talked about what happened to me in these 9 years in YouTube. I talked about my history and I talked about how is this even possible. It is possible because of you, the viewers, the subscribers, the commenters, the likers, but most importantly the people who get the cup and the Patreons. I won't get tired of saying this, I hope you won't also, but I have to praise the Patreons because they are actually the backbone of this channel. They make it possible for me to do it. Patreon makes sure that if YouTube revenue goes up and down, which it does sometimes, YouTube is not a traditional job. I don't get a contract that I will get this amount every month. No, it goes up, it goes down, that's how it is. Some months are good, some months are bad. Patrons are the people who take care of the fact that I don't have to worry about the finances and that I can just focus on making these videos for you guys. So not only me, but also you guys should be thanking these patrons. I will read you the names. We have Gregory Harris. Gregory, you like Sir Gregor from Game of Thrones. Sir Gregor, the huge mountain dude. Who knows, maybe you as big also. Thank you, Gregory. Cool Scout 99. Yes, I'm sure that's your birth name. Your birth certificate says Cool Scout 99. They allow to put numbers now. I'm glad about it. Thank you. We have Justin Singree. I'm not sure I'm saying this right. He pledged a big amount, so I'm gonna make an applause for him. Thank you, Justin. You made a really big contribution to this channel, and I'm quite sure everybody's thankful for you. I can make these videos. Thank you. We have Dom Rakes. Can I call you Tommy, eh? Mr. Tommy, thank you. We have Evie Jameson. Your last name is Whiskey and your first name is like you're a woman. Well, we don't have much women in the Patreon, and not many women get the cup also, so if you are a woman, please do get the cup to just balance out the genders. But Evie, thank you for supporting the channel. My friends, thank you for watching, and as always, until my next video, stay cool and bye bye.